Chris Viehbacher joins with us. He is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Biogen, and he was part of a panel dealing with CEOs. So, first time at the Galen Foundation, correct?
That's correct, yes.
What are your impressions so far?
Well, it's so great to come to a conference that's just really talking about innovation and celebrating science and scientists.
So tell us, I know you had a very interesting discussion. People kept saying they enjoyed you speaking about olive trees. What did you speak about the olive tree?
Well, we were talking about the difficulties of companies in discovering new molecules, and at what point in time do you think about things like manufacturing? Because it can be very expensive to develop a new medicine, we all know from a clinical point of view, but actually making enough product even for clinical trials, let alone for the market, is also a big investment. So if you are going to do that, you really want to make sure that the drug is working. And to just give an example of how challenging the supply chains can be, because when we develop a new medicine, it's not like we're taking, ingredients off the shelf. So we just introduced a new medicine for Friedreich's ataxia, and the origin of that is olive tree leaves. And from there, you go through 6 stages in 6 different countries to process those leaves and extract an oleanic acid from that. And it can take up to 3 years from the time the tree is growing and you take the leaves off it to the time you get a capsule. So it was just an example of that you can't just think about the science and the medicine. You also have to think about how do you actually deliver that in a form that a patient can take as a medicine.
Walk us through from the time that you discover a medicine until it finally goes through the fact that it be available to the general public. How many years and how much money is it average cost?
Well, it can be pretty long, certainly more than a decade. At some point you have to start with, okay, what is the cause of a disease? And then I've got to go find where in the body is this being regulated. Generally, most diseases that aren't infectious are caused by whether a protein gets produced or not produced, or it's badly produced. So then you got to figure out, how do I correct that? And I might have to suppress something, I might have to encourage something, or I might have to eliminate something. And that can take quite a long time to find the right molecule that docks into this target so that you get enough of an interaction between the drug and the cell to actually correct what you're doing. And then, you have to see, well, I have this molecule, is it safe to give to humans? Well, now I've got to go test this preclinically in animal models and other models. And then, probably about 7 years down the road, you're then going to go try this for the first time in humans. And that can be anywhere from 5 to 15 years of clinical trials. If you take something like Alzheimer's disease as an example, or Parkinson's, these are very slowly progressing diseases. So you need to observe patient over years to see whether your drug is having an effect. Biogen has recently introduced with our Japanese partner, Eisai, a new medicine for Alzheimer's. This has been in the making for over a decade, and between our partner and I, we've spent well over $1.5 billion just on the clinical trial costs alone.
Will AI change the picture to speed things up?
Well, that's what we're looking to do. I think there are a few uses. Clinical trials historically have been very difficult to achieve. You've got to go around the world, find physicians who have patients like you're looking for. They have to convince patients to actually enter the study. We have a study ongoing, for example, right now, where we need 400 patients. We will have to go to over 450 sites around the world to get those 400 patients. Now, if we could use AI to find the physicians and find the patients, identify the patients early on that are going to be eligible, we could actually make that happen a lot faster and therefore cheaper. So I do think some of these tools, for instance, on clinical development, will be very helpful.
And thank you for your leadership. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.